Since higher on the trucks, you alright? How many people banned? 21, I think. But, you know, I didn't ban anybody that... Yeah, I'll start this now anyway. I didn't ban anybody, first of all, for disagreeing with me. I would never do that. I banned people for threatening us or being absolutely ridiculously vile. And that's the only reason I banned people. So, yeah. The Dark Souls thing, though, before I'd even played the game, I looked at the meta score, and it was 85, I think. And I thought, wow, this is going to be a great game. Because I love RPGs. Skyrim, I played to death because I love Skyrim. And I thought Dark Souls would be good. And the reason I'm doing this video is because I can't keep up with all the stuff that's going on. There's a massive argument raging at the minute between people that agree with us and people that disagree with us, and I can't keep up with it. I've got to move on to other stuff, and so I thought the best thing would be to make a response video to it, which is what this is. And I'll just put this up as a response to that video so people can watch that and they can see my reasoning behind what I said and everything. Get Nick to ban them, yeah. I've got a bit of a cough today, so you have to bear with us. So anyway, yeah, when I started to play Dark Souls, after 30 seconds I realised it was horrific. Anybody who's played it with a mouse and keyboard will know exactly what I'm on about. It's just... let me just turn this down a bit. It's pretty much unplayable. You can't really control it at all. You do need a controller for it. Now, that's fair enough if the developers say you need a controller, but they don't. And that is my gripe. That is the big gripe that I've got about it. You see, on the Steam page, despite a lot of people lying in the comments saying that it says you need a controller, it doesn't say that at all. It says it strongly recommends a controller. And there's a huge chasm of difference between saying I strongly recommend you need a controller to saying you require a controller. There are two different things. It doesn't require a controller, which means that it should work with a keyboard and mouse, and it just doesn't. And that is the thing that gets me. And when I started playing it and I realised that it wouldn't work with the mouse and the keyboard, I was kind of horrified that a game that had been out since 2012 had not even been patched to work properly on a computer that it was actually built to play on. And on that line, I had a one this morning. It was never meant to be a PC game. So what? Never meant to be a PC game. I had a few people saying that. What happened? Did a developer walk across the office, trip up, land on a keyboard with his face and accidentally create a PC version? Is that what happened? I mean, that is just so much bullshit. Of course it was meant to be on the PC. The fact that it was made on a console beforehand is irrelevant. I don't care if there was a 2 million signature petition to say bring it out on the PC. The fact of the matter is they'll have had a meeting and says, right, we're going to make a PC version of this game. They're a professional company. You know, it's not some kid in a bedroom. These are a professional company and they've made a PC version that doesn't work properly. So, it's not an accident or an act of God that it came onto the PC. It came onto the PC because a professional company decided to make it for the PC as well as the consoles. That's why it's here. And so therefore they should make sure that it works on a PC. And when you buy a PC, you don't get a game controller with it. It comes with a mouse and a keyboard. And it should work on a mouse and a keyboard. And then we had the argument, somebody said, so what about flight simulators? And are you going to diss flight simulators because they require a flight stick and rudder pedals? Of course I'm not. If I'm buying a £60 flight simulator and I'm wanting to simulate being a Boeing 747 pilot, the last thing I want to do is play it with a bloody mouse and a keyboard. I want the full experience, and so therefore it's kind of accepted that a flight simulator is going to require the full set of flight sticks and pedals. I mean, a lot of them still do work with a mouse and keyboard, but it's not going to be the same, is it? Pilot coming into land at Heathrow in a 747 using a Razer mouse. I mean, where's the fun in that? It's like next to me, down there on the floor, I've got a Ferrari F430 wheel and pedal system. I don't need it for any of the driving games I've got. I recently did the Worth a Buy on Next Car Game. Works perfectly fine with keyboard, but I don't want a keyboard when I'm driving a car. I want my hands on a wheel. I want my feet on pedals. I want a slider for the gear changes. That's what you want when you're doing that kind of stuff. But a first-person game or a third-person game should work seamlessly on a keyboard and a mouse, because that's what you use for them. I can't believe people are throwing that out. That's how desperate some people are, throwing that argument forward, saying that a controllers is fine. It's not fine on a PC, because PCs don't have controllers, they have mouses and keyboards. I'm just going to catch up on a couple of comments. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sorry, you released a game in a worth a buy format, which labelled on as a video critique. My gripe is that you breached all principles of critique. Address this, please. I don't see how I did. I am saying that it isn't worth a buy if you own a PC, simply because it will not work. It'll only work if you buy a controller for it, because the developers were too lazy to finish it off. They could have quite easily, like Ivan's just said, they could have optimized that to work on a mouse and keyboard had they so wished. They chose not to do that. It wasn't a kind of thing that, oh well, we will release the game, but I'm sorry, we have no idea how to make it work on a mouse and keyboard. That isn't what happened. They released the game knowing full well that it didn't work on a mouse and keyboard, and they didn't want to do it. They didn't want to fix it up. And this is why I got angry, because do you know why? Do you want to know why they didn't make it work properly on a mouse and keyboard? There is one reason why. And the reason is because they know fine well they can get away with it, because there is an everlasting army of spineless fanboys out there who are going to happily dive on a sword for these lazy developers and defend them no matter what, because that's the state of the gaming industry that we have at the minute. I've been around since the gaming industry first started with Pong, when you just had two little lines at each side of your TV firing a little square ball at each other. And I've watched it develop from there to get to what I would class as its pinnacle in the 90s, when you had these innovative developers bringing out some amazing, groundbreaking games that were just awesome. They didn't need patching, they just fucking worked. And they were great, great games and great, great times. And from then on, I've watched it just peak down now, and it's just been on a down spiral. Yeah, PCs have become more powerful and games look better, but the innovation's just kind of gone. The integrity of the developers have gone. They are now releasing half-arsed shite on a daily basis around the world. These developers, there's half the games on Steam are bloody just out of tech demo. I mean, it's like everything's in alpha now. Give us your money. Some of them are fine because they've put a lot of work in, but there's some of them just the bare bones of a game, and it's happening all too often now. But my biggest gripe is there is absolutely no excuse whatsoever to take a game that was developed on a console and then porting it over to the PC where it doesn't work properly. That is not acceptable from a professional. I mean, I'm a professional in my work outside of what I do on YouTube, and I work with loads of different companies, from television companies to little charities, and I wouldn't even dream of sending them a product that was substandard, because I have integrity and I have pride in what I do, and these people don't. They have none. They don't give a shit. All they are interested in is getting as much money for the least amount of work, and as long as there is an army of gamers willing to defend them, they will continually keep doing it. And it's up to the people as gamers to stop doing it. Stop bending over backwards for these people. Stop just accepting it and start saying, look, we aren't going to accept this anymore. This is not right. You are just... I mean, imagine how many people have bought Dark Souls that don't own a console controller on the PC. How many hundreds of people have bought it and can't play it, or are disappointed, wasted £20. Let me put this to you. Let me put it this way. MechWarrior Online is one of my favourite games. It's PC only, and I've been playing it for 1.5 years. The Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 now have vastly improved. They are now able to play some of the PC games that you just couldn't dream of playing a few years ago. But now they're up to sort of mid-range to top-range PC spec. Now let's say MechWarrior was released on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, but it was £20. And when you tried to control your mech, it was awful, because it was still optimized for a mouse and keyboard, and they just hadn't been bothered to optimize it properly for your controller. So you're sitting there on your Xbox, you paid £20 for your game, but it just doesn't work. You can't control your mech, it's all over the place. And then I come along and say, lol, it's fine, go and buy yourself a keyboard and mouse plug-in for your console, it's a great game. Do you see what I'm saying? It works both ways. You've got to look in the mirror, and you've got to realise that if a game is released on a console that doesn't have a mouse and a keyboard, it should work seamlessly with a console controller. And if it didn't, there'd be frickin' hell on. All these people that are on the Dark Souls video calling me, they'd be the very ones complaining that MechWarrior Online didn't work on the console. And it's exactly the same thing as what Dark Souls has done on the PC. You see, that's my gripe. That's why I will never ever give a thumbs up to a game that can't even be asked to work with the basic control set of the system that it's been released on. And in the PC case, that's a mouse and a keyboard, not a controller. And I don't care if it's won Game of the Year 10 years in a row. That doesn't excuse the fact that it doesn't work on the controls that you have with a PC. And that's the problem. And I'm never going to ever jeopardize my integrity by saying, I mean, the easiest thing for me to do when I did that video would be to say, right, this is a great game, and just diss over the fact that it didn't work with the mouse and keyboard, and just join the happy band of other reviewers who are happy to just say how great this game is. But the problem with that is, I would know that people take notice of what I say and they would go and buy it, and then they'd be pissed off that it didn't work properly with a mouse and keyboard. So yes, Psychoid, you probably do. I mean, if I ever do buy a PlayStation, and I'm thinking of buying a PlayStation 4, I would try to buy a mouse and a keyboard attachment for it, because I can use the controller. I did Red Dead Redemption all the way through twice with all the DLCs using the... I can use a controller, you know, it just takes a little bit of getting used to, but after an hour I was fine with it. But I would still like to have a mouse and a keyboard if I bought a PlayStation 4. And despite what a lot of people say about my bias, it's all just in fun, a lot of it. I don't actually have anything against the consoles. What I do have against is, I have a lot against shitty, shallow games that could be a lot better. And there's far too many of them released. I mean, like the Call of Duty games, it's the same game every year. And people just buy it. It's like, why? Why you bought the same game last year? And it's just, you know, the gaming industry now is just lacking a lot in any kind of... It needs some new blood. That's what it needs. It does. I mean, the Star Citizen thing, what's it up to now? 36 million or something? Am I the only one that thinks it's going to be shit? That's another story. But I think that guy's now just going crazy now. It's like, oh, the next stretch goal, you know, another million, and I'll let you swing round on me swivel chair for a week. I mean, what's that? What's next? It's ridiculous. But anyway, back to the topic. I'm just going to catch up on some of the comments. Yes, we only get 60% of the final game and the other 40 in DLC. Yeah, that's been going on a few years. Yeah, Runner Trucks, that's that. I've heard that as well, the DSF DS fix or whatever it's called. Hi, Tez. Why not re-upload the video with the proper critique principle? Be fair, for every game you critique, don't be biased. Well, I'm not biased against it. That game deserved everything it got off me. If they can't be asked to do a game properly, then, you know. Does any of you guys own a PlayStation 4? I'm a video production. That's what I do. In my real-time job. Sweeney Toon, please stop repeating yourself, dude. I think that's because I haven't answered his question, which I just did answer there. Yeah, it is. That's right, Christine. It's because it's not worth. Is it 40 million now? Yeah, it's not worth a buy because of the control system. It's as simple as that. I mean, if they had turned around and said it requires a controller, then if I'd had a controller, I mean, there's one downstairs on the 360, I'd have gone and plugged it in. But it didn't say that, so therefore I'm going to base it on what I think I should base it on as a PC game, and that's a mouse and a keyboard, not a controller. You see, then it would have been do you understand that? If it had said requires controller, I would have gone and plugged the controller in and done it. But it doesn't say that. It says it doesn't require a controller, which means it should work on a keyboard and mouse, which it doesn't. So that's why it got slated. Mac preaching to the choir again. Is it 40 million, I believe? That's crazy. Yeah, it tells exactly. I shouldn't have to use a controller. Not for a third-person game or a first-person game. I shouldn't. Well, no, but actually, the thing is what I said before. I don't know where you were before, but you probably missed what I said. But the flight simulators, driving games, they're different to first-person or third-person games. First and third-person games, I don't think anybody's stupid enough to argue the fact that a first-person or a third-person game shouldn't work seamlessly on a mouse and keyboard. I mean, are you actually telling me that you think that it's quite acceptable on a PC for a first or third-person game to not function properly with a mouse and keyboard when a mouse and keyboard is the primary control for a PC? I mean, was that what you're saying? Come on, man. If we're going to have a debate, let's at least not be stupid about it, because it's obviously that a first and a third person game primarily the top control mechanism for it should be mouse and keyboard if it's released on a PC. I'm not talking about consoles, I'm talking about PC. I mean, driving games, I don't have a driving game that doesn't work on a keyboard. They all work. I mean, next car game works brilliant on a keyboard, but I prefer it on a steering wheel and pedals, which is what I used. And flight sims, well, why would anybody want to pilot a Boeing 747 with a mouse? You want the full shooting match when you're doing that. At least the German version of Steam for the game says the following. Yeah, highly recommended. Doesn't mean required though. The death of the original idea is the start of the DLC. Yeah, DLCs. Yeah. Me and Mesh did a big rant about DLCs 3 years ago or 4 years ago in Indie Month. No prizes for guessing which game it was. Yeah, I did. I mean, if it said that you require a console controller for this game, I'd have plugged one in and used it. But it doesn't say that. You see, that's the big thing. That's the catalyst in this. It says that it will work on a PC keyboard and mouse. It says that by saying that a controller is not required, and it just doesn't. So it's not worth a buy. Simple as that. Because I can't factor in that everybody who owns a PC has a controller. They just don't. Yeah, first person with a controller, true terror. Yeah, same. So yeah, the PS4, I was going to ask, does the PS4 record your gameplay? I know one of them does, or is that the Xbox that does that? I know Xbox does a Twitch feed, but doesn't one of them record your gameplay? Anyway, I'm catching up with the amount of coverage of games these days. They want it, don't buy it. Yeah, Sweeney, you've got to be trolling. Yeah, I agree. Media coverage should always be fair and stick to principle, but it just doesn't. Star Citizen. I'm not telling you. Hang on, I'm just going to fly down this list and I'll answer your Star Citizen question. You're a bit of a... No, you're missing the point, Capoon. You're missing the point completely. If you've got a game that's on the PC that says it doesn't require a controller when it actually does, how can that be okay when there's going to be hundreds of people based on that sentence going to buy the game thinking that it's going to work fine with a keyboard and mouse? I mean, do you not think that's wrong? How can you not think that's wrong? You know, it's crazy. If it requires a keyboard and mouse, if it requires a controller, then all they have to do is say, look, this doesn't work on a keyboard and mouse. It requires a controller. End of. Problem solved. It doesn't say that. So it's false advertising by leading people up the wrong path, so to speak, because they think, if I'd bought that game, I was gifted it, but if I'd bought that game, but after reading that it says controller strongly recommended but not required, I've got a keyboard and mouse. Alright, that means it'll work on a keyboard and mouse. So I'd have bought it. I'd have been pissed off knowing that I'd spent £20 on a game that doesn't frickin' work with a mouse and keyboard. How can you think that's fine? Seriously, come on, man. Xbox records. Alright, okay. Oh, PS4 does as well. Alright, okay. Last 4 minutes? Is that it? Star Citizen, I was never a fan of... I mean, I liked Privateer. I wasn't the Wing Commander games. But I was quite excited about that Star Citizen, but I think it's just gone a bit crazy now. I mean, they haven't even released the multiplayer stuff. I tell you what, Elite Dangerous looks a lot better. I'm a massive David Braben fan. Elite was awesome back in the day. Sorry if I'm hiccuping. I'm not trying to defend myself, and I'm just trying to. I'm just mentioning all this so that I can move on. Basically, what's this? I do agree that the game should work with mouse and control as well. I don't think it should work best with it just because it has been ported to it, and besides that, me being software tester myself, I don't think just because one part of the game is shit, even if it is the truly important part, is enough to justify the whole game being shit. Well, I didn't actually comment on the whole game being shit. I just said it wasn't worth buy because it's just not. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it's perfectly simple. You've got a game that doesn't work with a keyboard and mouse, alright? But it says it does. It's £20. People buy that who only have a keyboard and mouse. They realise it doesn't work. That's not acceptable. Everybody must agree with that, surely. So therefore, it isn't worth a buy. If it says requires controller, then yes, it's worth a buy. It's really that simple. And these people... by the way, the reason... There is only one reason that it says strongly recommended and not required, and that's because if they put on that a controller is required, they would have lost a shitload of sales from PC users that don't like controllers or don't own controllers. And they purposely they use the strongest wording they can legally to get away with that. That speaks volumes about the cunts, if you pardon my drop of the C-bomb there, but I get so angry at stuff like that because I have to deal with it on a daily basis, and it's absolutely boils my piss, it does, because at the end of the day they know what they're doing, they know it doesn't fucking work on a keyboard and mouse, but they are still happy to take the money of people that don't own a controller because of their misleading advertisement, and that is not acceptable at all. It's just not. It's fucking disgraceful. That's what that is. And they should be ashamed of themselves. And everybody who condones that behaviour are the people that are responsible, really, for the state of the gaming industry now. Everybody who condones that is a part to blame. And you need to look in the mirror, give your heads a shake and think, hang on a minute, do you not have any kind of moral standards? Is there no kind of integrity there? Because there should be. And I know, I mean... I've just bought a new front door, right, and it's all UPVC stuff, but the step is still concrete, and we want the step coated in UPVC. So I rang them back up and I said, look, I know it wasn't part of the deal to do the step, but how much would it cost to do it? And they said £95. I says, brilliant. I says, when can you do it? He says, next Tuesday, 1 o'clock. I says, right, I'll make sure I'm in. Next Tuesday came round 1 o'clock, no fucker turned up. I cleared my afternoon schedule for that, and they didn't turn up. I rang them and says, where the hell are you? No response back. That is the state of society at the minute. Nobody has any integrity. Hardly, well, that's not true. Some people do, but a lot of people don't. And that's the way it is. And that's in the worst area in the consumer zone is the gaming sector. That has the least integrity out of any other area in business, in my opinion. I'm shocked at it, and the reason that it's so bad in the gaming sector is because gamers put up with it. Like, this would never happen in any other area of manufacturing because nobody would put up with it. But for some reason, the gamers, not all of them, I mean, thankfully, the vast majority of people agree with us on my video, but you know, the amount of people that are prepared to defend such a company saddens me. It really does. I mean, it angers us, but I'm more sad than angry, that because I know that as long as people are defending them, this will continue. It will continue. There will be more and more games released like this that are just in a shit state, and there's going to be more DLCs, and there's going to be more alphas, and as long as people accept, and I won't accept it. And yes, I knew when I did the video that I was going to lose a shitload of subscribers, but at the end of the day, I'll sleep happy at night knowing that, you know, I haven't kind of jumped on the easy bandwagon of saying, yeah, it's a great game, it got 85% Metacritic, yeah, woo, this is an awesome game, woohoo. No, fuck that. No way. Not a chance. I'd rather have one subscriber left and have me integrity than to jump on the fucking bandwagon of condoning that kind of shit. So, you know, I don't care if the dev said sorry. Sorry is words. Words mean fuck all, guys. One thing you got to learn in life, one thing I've learned in life, I've been around the block a few times, and I'll tell you what I've learned in life. Words are cheap. Actions aren't. Actions speak louder than words. Now, if they were truly sorry about Dark Souls not working on a mouse and keyboard, they wouldn't have said, oh, we're sorry. They would have fucking fixed it. But they're not sorry. Do you see what I'm saying? Saying sorry is irrelevant. Fix it. Fix it. You know? That's what you do. You don't say you're sorry. You know, I could walk outside and find a pig on a farmyard and say, I love you and want to have your babies. No, I don't. It's just words. But if I started shagging the pit, no. How did I get to that? How did I end up having bestiality sex with a pig on a farmyard? In this, never mind. Catch up with the comments. Oh God! Oh, why did you do this live? Why? Do your research, mate. It's a very important part of critique. Well, I don't know who you're addressing that to, but my research ended after 30 seconds of knowing that I couldn't play it on a fucking mouse and keyboard if you were addressing me. You know. Someone who works in game dev industries, fucking black and white, most devs. Yeah, I am aware that, Ivan. It's the publishers who put ridiculous constraints on the developers. I personally would walk, but that's just me. I actually have done that in real life. I've refused to put my name to stuff when I've been told that I have to do it a certain way. I once lost a £4,000 contract because I refused to turn out shit, and I walked away. And if you don't believe us, Mesh will verify that. I walked. I won't do it. I actually won't do it. I am actually more concerned about doing a job the right way than screwing people over. Nope. I just refuse. I just give them the finger and just say, look, I don't do that. Nowhere. Not gonna happen. the other side of that coin, though, Ivan, is I would say the most important part of a game is the control. Because if you fuck that up, there is no game. So, that should have been the top priority. So, at the end of the day, yeah, exactly. And get my name off the credits as well for anything that I'm not proud of. You've got to have standards in everything you do in life. You've got to have a standard when it's your profession. It doesn't matter what your job is. Even if you're flipping burgers in McDonald's, flip them to the best of your ability. Make the best cheeseburgers in McDonald's, and if you do that, you'll go places, and people will notice your work. That's what happened to me. I did shitty little jobs, right? Absolute shitey little jobs for peanuts, and they looked like $5,000 jobs by the time I'd finished with them, and it got noticed, and that's how you get anywhere. At the end of the day, you've got to have standards. You've got to. If you don't have standards, then what's the point? Hi, Collins. It's like all these simulator games that I've done a few of. My goodness. If ever you want to know what it looks like to just release the same old shite with no integrity, just look at all the simulator games I've done. They're all the same. All with the same engine, all a big pile of shit, but they're so quick and easy to put together that they always make a profit. They don't make a massive amount of money for them, but they make enough for them to keep turning them out time and time again. That's why when I absolutely rip them apart, I feel as if I'm doing a service to the community. No difference in the best and worst burgers. Hey, that's not true, stealthy bitch. I went into McDonald's, not a word of a lie. I went into McDonald's and I ordered a chicken sandwich meal. And the guy handed me, this is not a word of a lie, you'll not believe this. He handed me the chicken sandwich and the bun was upside down at both the top and the bottom, and it had everything in it. The guy had the buns, the two ends of the buns upside down. And I handed it back and I said, I can't remember my exact wording, but it did have a few expletives in it. And I said, will you tell the guy at the back to learn to make a effing frickin' bun? It's not hard. You literally have to put a salad and a frickin' piece of chicken between two. I mean, it doesn't get easier than that. But he fucked that up. It's just the likely scenario with Dark Souls was a combination of Japanese publishers don't care. Yeah. So they just had a extra cash in the devil. Well, yeah, but still. Yeah. But it is a tight I've got nothing against McDonald's workers at all. I mean, I did some shitty jobs when I was 17. I really did. And but when I go to McDonald's, if I have to order for the whole family, and it's very rare I do because it's all shit food anyway, but I know the order's going to be wrong. I'll go to the drive-in usually, and I know that whoever it is on the little screen is incapable of listening to an order and then pressing the corresponding buttons. Because that's the way it is. And they always get it wrong. And I have to sit there at the window, emptying the whole bag and checking everything, and it's always wrong. And if you work in McDonald's, I hope you get yours right, because up here they don't. The shit. Don't know what that's got to do with anything, but yeah, I'm uploading this to YouTube. It was just a kind of oh yeah, no, I mean, I've been in the meetings, Ivan. I've been in meetings where I've just had me head in my hands listening to these idiots fleshing out the what they want in videos and stuff, and it's just makes you cry. What the fuck? You've been challenged by a lander. Oh, seriously. Might as well. But yeah, it's true. It's gone. I try not to go through fast food. I'd rather make my own, then I know what I'm eating.
Malfurion versus Rexxar.
Gonna take you on and leave.
Let's go. Begin. I must protect the one.
You missed the bestiality part. Oh man. Oh dear. I can't believe I said that. Shit. See how I've been distracted now by somebody. Doesn't take much, does it? So anyway, that's pretty much what I have to say on it. If Dark Souls 2 comes along and it's pretty much the same. Oh, bollocks. Hello?
What to do? My apologies.
For the first time, it wasn't Bombay. No, not a call center, sorry. What did Land do there? Oh, nothing, I haven't ended my turn. Sorry about that. It's the door guy. Bloody better be. But it is what it wasn't. Oh, let's get this out the way, Lander. Should I? No. We'll do that. Well, yeah, there's no excuse though, is there? I mean, it doesn't matter what job you do, it's like, have a bit of pride in it. That's what I say. That was luck. Pure luck there, Lander. Well. Yeah, do it.
Where shall I strike?
Just catching up here. Retribution right now. Dark Souls 2, yeah. Octodad might calm us down. Yeah, probably would. Right, what's happened here? I like that, Lander. Very good. Good old swipe. Gotta love it. When DS2 comes out for PC, yeah. I'm already ahead of you, Tez. Just swiped. What's that? What's that? What's this? Kill command. Wow. Why didn't he kill that? He should have killed me bear. That was a bad move, that. He really should have killed me bear there, guys. He'll regret that. Yeah, where's my sparring coach gone? Hey, I tell you what, I'm amazed I even win games. It's the curse of Twitch. Whenever I play this, I always lose. The hounds. Oh, and a wolf rider. Nice. I like it. I like it. Ooh, let's get this by. Yeah, this is. I think this is pretty much over. Like. Did you, Billy? I hope you've got a controller. So if you don't... Oh, that was nice. Uh-huh. Nice. You're screwed, Alanda, I'm sorry. Unless you've got something... Oh. Oh. Ouch. That's gonna hurt.
Safeguard the land.
Boom. Bit of taunting. That's
Sorry.
yeah, sorry about that. I have got Long Live the Queen. Yes. The worst game in 2013. You show off tosser. Wow. Worst game of 2013, I don't know. Oh, that hurt. Ouch. That frickin' hurt, guys. The Black Knight will sort him out.
None shall
You gotta pay to win, Orlando. You gotta pay to win. That's how you play this game. You pay your money, you win your games. Ah, you can, right, okay. Alright, that sounds good then. On the PlayStation 4. It's a shame that you can't record, like, you know how you can use DxStory and Fraps on a PC? What about the PlayStation 4? Can you buy something that you plug into it or something that will record, like, all of your gameplay stuff? Or not?
I must
Well,
safeguard.
do this. It's game over. Yeah, day one was horrific. I would never defend my queen. I'm not a royalist. You get video capture cards for your PC. I'm on about the PlayStation.
I wonder.
Ah, will it? Alright. Ah, see what you're saying, Ivan. Right. Ah, that would be good. You don't want to die on live TV, do you not? Sorry, Yolanda. Let's see if I can make it a spectacular ending. I can't actually. Let's. Shall we heal him up? Shall we heal him up? No. No, it's a lander after all. There you go. I don't want to die on live TV. That's hilarious. Oh, golly.